I'm actually excited to hear that we are getting Dynasty Warriors 3 Remastered. I expected it, but at the same time, I kind of didn't. So let me explain. When they mentioned that one of the old games was getting worked on, I had a feeling it was between Dynasty Warriors 3, 4, or 5. When they announced 3, I didn't expect it. I legit thought they was going to go with 4. In a way, I can see why Dynasty Warriors 3 got picked and not the others. Now, by looking at the trailer, seeing the before and after looks of the game, it looks really amazing. I hope that we get to see more pictures of the game later on this month or next month. I know the game is in the PS Store right now. You can't pre-order it yet, but they do have like more information about the game, such as the game is 2 players. However, I think the game will be offline 2 players. I don't think we will get 2-player online co-op, which to be honest, that sucks. However, thankfully, I know I do have friends who play Dynasty Warriors on their PS5s, and I could definitely ask them to share play for fun to get that old school couch co-op feeling. It'll definitely be fun, but you may experience some lag here and there if you decide to share play, which is like, ugh. Now, during the Tokyo Game Show, they did mention the remastered. I'm so grateful that everyone's favorite Japan translator, Black Kite, did the translation for their showcase. I wanted to go over the ones that dealt with the remastered. So they were questions and and answers about the remaster, such as would there be other titles remastered other than Dynasty Warriors 3? And the answer that they gave was if Dynasty Warriors 3 Remastered does not sell, there will be no more. I'm actually glad that they are taking the risk of doing this remaster because this was long overdue. Honestly, I hope it does well. I think Koei Tecmo is going to pull the same strategies as before to get people to talk about the game. The same strategies that they did with Origins. And of course, if they do this, I know the game will be successful as well, and we will get more remasters in the future. However, like they said, if the game fails, then not do they will not do any more remasters. And that would be sad and disappointing, but again, I do appreciate Koei Tecmo, taking that risk. Next, we found out that most people said Dynasty Warriors 3 was the best, so we went with 3. When he said Dynasty Warriors 3 was the best, you have to understand that a lot of people became Dynasty Warriors fans because of 3. It was their first game and they enjoyed it for main reasons, like the characters, the story mode, the wacky, crazy cutscenes.
Feel the power of my magic! You flaming idiots! Take this!
And of course the difficulty of the game. If this game does the old Dynasty Warriors 3 justice, then hopefully we can all relive our childhood. And if you somebody who's watching the video right now and have kids, then you can share that magic with them. The then clothes in the trailer, headband clothing, that could be Zulon or Yukimura Sanda, but I'm not saying anything more until the next reveal. The head red band clothing that was in the trailer, I'm hoping it's Yukimura Sanda just because and not Zulon. No disrespect to Zulon, but I would rather have Yukimura as a guest character. The reason I say this is because we know that Zulon and Origins turned out to be great at the end. Like, definitely understandable. However, having Yukimura as a guest, I think that will bring some greater hope to a Samurai Warriors remaster in the future. But again, if the remasters do well. Dynasty Warriors 3 Remastered won't have Dynasty Warriors 3 action as is. There will be some bought from Dynasty Warriors Origins. For this last part, I don't know how to feel about it. The early Warriors games always had simple gameplay with the normal and charge attacks, which is fine to me. At the same time, I can understand this because let's be honest, how many times have we seen someone play Dynasty Warriors, like Dynasty Warriors like 8, 7, and especially the old games, and they press this normal attack button over and over and over and over again. And then at some point you'll get annoyed and you just want to call this person trash. I know that sounds terrible, but it's just like, what the fuck. Thankfully, personally, thank you, I haven't seen, no one play like this back in the day, offline with friends, but online, such as like gameplay on YouTube and such, I have seen it a certain times. Sometimes it just makes me like want to log off of their video, or just make me want to rip my hair out and make me want to scream at the person. It's like, can you please just press another damn button? Stop pressing the damn square, it's annoying. No, maybe bringing Origins aspect to the remaster may make the gameplay more fun. Or they could just give us the option to do the simple gameplay, old school, or detailed gameplay was like, the Origins gameplay. Alright, so here's the last picture. Dynasty Warriors 3 was the most requested, of course, and they mentioned reproducing PlayStation 2 era games costs a lot. Honestly, I didn't know that reproducing old PS2 era games would really cost a lot. I thought it would cost less due to like how old the games are and also the graphics. Now that we know more about this, it just makes me wonder the way how the games look back in the day versus like how they look now. It kind of like makes me think like, should we even call this a remaster? Shouldn't we call this a remake? Look, I'm just going to quote this like a famous person. I'm just asking questions. And honestly, I think it's a legit question. I say we should just call it Dynasty Warriors 3 Remastered Remake, or Dynasty Warriors 3 Remaster Make. Just for shits and all. But I wonder what you guys think about that. And lastly, simply remastering the graphics doesn't feel enough, so they'll also add QOL. Adding QOL, or quality of life, to the game is kind of like mud to me. I'm not making a big deal out of it unless they want to add crazy stuff that's not really needed in the game. Then yeah, of course, I'll complain about it. Like I said, so overall, like I said, I'm excited that Dynasty Warriors 3 is getting a remaster remake. I can't wait to see how the game turns out, and I'm going to do my best to cover any info that comes out for the game. Guys, please share your thoughts on this, and as always, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.